Duse Ms.
What up?
Hey, one of my favorite lines from G Active. We on 37th Drive where it keeps it live. Is that right?
Man, he ain't never lied, man. It's a lot of history about 37 Drive. In fact, this is the street that the Fruit Town Brims originated on.
Is that right?
Yeah.
This goes, you talking about like basically early 73, 74, 75, somewhere around there?
I think it's about 70, between 71 and 3.
71?
David Johnson.
David Johnson.
One of the first bloods killed by the hands of a Crep, West Side Creps, right? He's also related to Big Puddin'. So when you say Fruit Town Brim, the reason why the LA Brims, the Fruit Town specifically, had ties through kinship with David Johnson and Big Puddin'. If Big Puddin' was here today, you say, obviously West Side Paru, where it originated. Where you from? He gonna say he from Fruit Town Paru. You know what I'm saying? So when you get into the Damu history, that's really essential and something that I was taught when I was young. You know what I'm saying?
So is Dave credited with being the founder of Fruit Town Brim?
David Johnson is a couple hands. Nuke the Duke, rest in peace. We lost him last year. You got Big Catnip. You got Big Angel. That's their age group. And Big Angel also was an LA Brim, and so was Nuke. Nuke was also a Black Panther member.
And how many of these I'm assuming they're all first generation Fruit Town Brims?
That's first generation Fruit Town Brim. They're all my dad age, which right now my dad is 64, 65, right? That'd be their bracket. Rest in peace, Big Rainbow, who was also the founder of the Liso Village Brim, right? That goes through family. Big Rainbow is also one of the Magnificent Sevens, or supposed to be founders of the Fruit Town Brims, actually.
Okay, so how many of these first generation Fruit Town Brims are still around today?
I mean, I don't know none of them that's around here. I know, I'm in connection with them. These people raised me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went and checked on Angel. He just had heart surgery about 2-3 months ago, right? He's super good, living his life, looking healthy, still got size. He was a known fighter. That's like Terry Cadeau generation, right? Like 2 years older though, but they all would have hung out around the same time once they got together, you know? It wasn't no distinctions, Fruit Town Brim, Harvard Park Brims until later. It was LA Brims. And when you talk about LA Brims, now you talking 1968. You know what I'm saying? Generations that's not even here. Eddie Watts, Big Twin, those are the founders of LA Brim, first ones to change it. Who did start Apple Hats, and if you listen to the G homie, they did start Apple Hats, but it didn't even last a month. Niggas was clowning them like, you country looking ass niggas wear Apple Hats, you niggas country. So they wanted to change to something that was much more fashionable, and they turned into LA Brims within like a month, bro. That's how I got the history. The homie said, and he came after, I think Big Angel put him on. You know what I'm saying? So, but he definitely was around at that time, so his experience might differ from the homies that I got it from, who I know was there. You know what I'm saying?
But one of the original founders, Dave, he's resting, right?
Yeah, Dave, rest in peace. He was one of the first Damus ever killed by the hands of the Crips.
Do we know what year that was?
I don't know what year that was. I could reference it. Maybe I'll give you an update. You could type it at the end or something.
Okay, so for a guy your age, you're definitely tied in to the history of where you came up from. Not everybody that's your generation knows the history where they came up at.
No, and it's a damn shame, because most of them really is riders, and they would die for this. You know what I'm saying? They would get life for it. They done lived and took those type of sacrifices and chances. So yeah, man, I really respect the riders for that reason. You know what I'm saying? That's not where I'm at in my evolution, but I understand what they going on to keep that legacy going. My dad is one of the G homies. John Jr. is the same age as Catnip. Catnip lived upstairs from my grandma with Mayola. He was fucking on Mayola back then. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about literally since I was in Pampers, they got me throwing up this Brim. You know what I'm saying? I went through a stage where I was tagging. I didn't want to gangbang. You know what I'm saying? I seen people getting shot, different hoods. I know the 20s. I'm stealing cars and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Selling them to them. I know that they doing their shit. I see people all over LA. This is the 80s and the 90s. Getting shot through gang violence. What I want to gangbang for? I'm competing in spelling bees and offering classes at Cal State Dominguez University. But as time would have it, I got shot at on Bud Long at 35th. I wasn't even a gang member. You know what I'm saying? A drive-by, they unloaded about 52 shots. Shells was found over there. I wasn't even a gang member. So at that point it was, damn, this shit is, I might as well get a, they gonna do anybody over here that's young that might look like he could be a part of anything. You know what I'm saying? So now it's more of a survival mode. I don't wanna be the prey. I'm gonna be the predator from now on. You know, I could have lost my life 52 times. So I love my grandma, I love my family, and I always had that warrior spirit, that fight, that I'm not just finna lay down and you know what I'm saying? So that night is the night I picked up my red flag and started banging Brim, Fruit Town.
And what is this particular street, 37th Drive? What does that mean to you?
This is, nothing in my mind is run stronger than 37th Drive. From my grandma Minnie and my grandpa John, Miss Suge, Red, rest in peace, who lived there. My brother Booger Brim, Brandon, who got life, and Sean, who he got life for killing. You know what I'm saying? This is 8, 9, 10 years old. I met Sean, who lived right here at this house initially, and then once they opened the print shop on 38th next to Skip Liquor, his father bought the house 2 doors down, right where they're doing this construction now with the re-gentrification.
You know, it's crazy. I pulled up and I noticed down there in the middle of the street, boxes of tubs for these new apartments. And that's
USC.
That's been pretty
well,
much.
their alum, to be specific. It's their alum. They get these investment groups of students that went here probably through the 80s and the 90s when this was a total different environment, and saying, look, this is prime real estate. We need to get laws passed, get some of these gangbangers locked up, and the politics come in, because now they talking about their money. You know, that's big business. If you're not familiar with the justice system and how that works, how people profit off of that and get fund private prisons and the GO groups of the world, USC had a part in that, to getting laws changed, making it harsher, and gentrifying this whole community. I could have $3 million right now, and they're not gonna be selling me no property over here. So they're essentially all of the people who have memories of and lived here for the 30. My grandmother and grandfather moved here before I was born. I was born in 78. They moved here in about 71, 72. And if you look at this apartment right here that we're standing in front of, that's where Nicky lived. Booger girlfriend since he was 8. That's his mama. You know what I'm saying? My nephew mama. Since they were 8 years old, we be out here wrestling, boxing glove, make the little belts with the cardboard and the rental wrap around this shit. Like we champions, because we're doing tournaments. We were really aggressive, physical. That was just the way that we was raised. All around here, you'll see the big money getters, legendary Fruit Town Brim members from Big Killer Jess and all of them dudes with their lowriders out here just drinking, more of a family. Like that was before I was, I was real naive to the politics within and the different factions and, different history with a lot of different things. But yeah, 37 Drive, this is the block.
How you feel about the whole changes because of gentrification? Every single block from 37th Drive all the way to Jefferson, it's got all kind of reconstruction going on. New apartments, white people living on the block, students. It's altered the face of Fruit Town Brim.
Permanently.
Right?
Permanently.
Permanently.
Permanently. We seen it in the 90s though. When I'm trying to get a spot, I might got some cush or something I'm trying to push at that time, whatever. And I need a place where I'm gonna be at in the hood. It was so hard even then, you know. And we weren't even on that at that time. We was caught up on a whole nother negative atomic vibration. You know what I'm saying? Real gangbanging. In the 90s, I go to YA, 1996 for assault with a deadly weapon on a Harlem Crip at Weems Elementary, right? So I went to jail for gang banging. That's how I started out. Obviously, I'm matured. If you see me, I'm feeding the poor. I'm back to school drive with the kids because I know better, so now I do better. But at that time, when you got that type of vibration, they had these investment teams and fraternities. Hey man, this is prime real estate, 25 minutes from the airport, 25 minutes from the beach, 25 minutes from Hollywood. This is prime real estate. And they went on it on a business move. And it's definitely gentrification because, like I said, the laws and politics that went behind getting a lot of the people over here more increased time, tearing up the family structure, it contributed to tearing down the black family structure in this community.
Now you mentioned Weems Elementary. That's right smack dab in the middle of the hood, right? What is that on Budlong and?
No, that's Catalina.
Catalina and 36?
Well, if you go to the front of it, yeah, the sign is on 36. But the back of it's 37th Street. Then you got Raymond, you got Catalina, but Budlong is like closer to the front.
Yeah, Budlong kind of intersects it, right?
Right
yeah.
there on that side of Weems.
So was that one of your childhood schools?
Yeah, I went to Weems kindergarten, right? Second grade or first grade, I transferred to Kelso Elementary in Inglewood. We moved to Inglewood. Second grade, my mom, she was bookmaking at that time. You know what I'm saying? So she got arrested for it. And she picked her family over all of that money. But so it wasn't just hot dogs and beans every day for every meal. You know what I'm saying? Now we could go to Sizzler or something. The quality of living went up. Even better education in Inglewood and then ultimately in Gardena. My mom stayed moving away. She wanted to get away from LA and keep her kids over there. But at about 13, it was a wrap. I was back over here. 14, I'm gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? So I go to YA, I did all the shit in YA. That shit was, I don't even really want to talk about that because it ain't nothing to brag about, but that's gladiator school.
Now, you went in during the kind of final years, the final era of YA, right?
Man, so I initially started at Preston, right? I went to Preston pre-camp. I got into it with an East Coast nigga, over a nigga from Sacramento, but we ain't even gonna get into that. He didn't take the fade, and I'm just on some, we got to save face, I got the fade, you know what I'm saying? And I get kicked out of pre-camp. They sent me to NA Chad, so I started my whole bid really in Chad and Stockton, California, up north. From Chad, I paroled in '98, and it was popping. You know what I'm saying? The homies was strong now. By this time, all those taggers we hung with, and that's just not in the Fruit Town, it's a lot of different hoods. Those taggers in the 90s started joining the ranks of these organizations. I'm not gonna call them gangs because I believe that they're more like tribes or villages. You know what I'm saying? But for the people's terms, so-called gang members, right? They got an influx into their ranks in the 90s through that whole tagger scene. The NBT over here was the GTI. That's who I started with. That's who Sean started with. But my little brother Booger, his father, he started with the NBT Troubles, who it started off cool with the GTI, but they ended up beefing. Booger went to YA when he was young. When he came home, I told him, they Crips now. Like, ain't no more rolling with them. You from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So that started a whole nother era. You got Booger Brim, you got Brim Bone, you got Lil Killer Jess, one of my other dogs. They had hitters over here. D-Ray the Gangster, rest in peace. Young dudes, they getting to the money. You know what I'm saying? That's what we really was focused on when I was coming up over here. You had gangbangers who was on that. We sliding across the train tracks a couple of times a day. That was gangbanging. But you got dudes that's in the community that this is just where they grew up. Yeah, I'm from Fruit Town, that's all I know. This is my family, this is my village. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference between a gang member and a gang banger. So I do want to say that.
Now you went to YA for shooting in front of Williams against the 30s. Over here in this part of LA, they're like the only Crips that are really close by to you.
Well, the 40s on the other side of
King, right? You have to go,
yeah,
but,
dark side.
But you can just walk.
Then the park side's really over there. In fact, Tubu Gangster, the first recruit I had to Fruit Town Brim, I was the youngest TGV when I joined, me and Red Flag. So Tubu the Gangster, he lived across the street from Vermont Square Park. You know what I'm saying? They broke his jaw. He was one of the homies, he used to fuck with the Sherm, burnt out, didn't give a fuck. He was crazy, he was really mad, you know what I'm saying? But loyal brother, he doing 15 free Tubu the Gangster, man.
Okay, so on the other side of Exposition, I heard back in the day there used to be some fruit towns on the Layton Street.
No, they still on Layton.
They still there?
Yeah.
Okay, but also
they own like 4 or 5 houses on Layton.
But the 30s kind of have a presence on the other side of the tracks too, don't they?
I don't know now. You know, I'm not in the field. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? When I first started, you know what I'm saying, they had a presence over there. You had hitters too, right? Slowpoke, Lil AC. They had between Normandy and Vermont, that was their hood. And that's one of the reasons I had started the Hit Squad. So when you hear on Hit Yo Brimmin, I say it's the Hit Squad Don. The name is Duse Ms. I started the Hit Squad specifically to take the 9 back over there from the Harlem, which we did. I don't know what it is now. I know that the homie's still on Layton. I know the homie's still on Rolling Curtis. You know what I'm saying? Because they own property there. Remember I said this is a family thing. So unless you've been here for decades, majority of these dudes is tied to families that I ain't finna put their family out there like that, but just like mine, the Sims. Like those is last names that are embedded into this community.
Now, other side of Normandy, you can't get any closer. A rival can't get any closer than that. 1 block.
Be safe, man. I'ma call you.
Other side of Normandy, it don't get any closer than that.
Right.
And from what I understand, there's a lot of family ties on that side as well, especially with the Belizeans.
A lot of them. Going through like junior high school at Fauché, you see them ties a lot. In fact, rest in peace, Tiny Spook from 20 used to be C-Cat from Harlem. He was Belizean, he was related to Bear and B-Dog and Baby Spook and them. So that's one of the ways he ended up turning NHB, 29th Street, rest in peace. And that's a dude, he was so crazy and wild once he turned, proving himself. I really, really had a bond with him. We went to Woodstock reunion right here at the LA Coliseum. You're Belizean, so you already know about the culture with the weed, so it was perfect. We got hippies out there with different kind of strands of weed. Just want to, you know, enjoy that whole element. But I did that with Tiny Spook before he got killed. You know what I'm saying? He didn't live that long. In 1995, he was murdered at the hand of a rival gang member. That was a big war. He was also related to Big B, rest in peace, Big B. You know what I'm saying? Who started pushing the label and all of that.
Okay, so let's talk about a few people, man, that I know that the watchers want to hear from. G Active is probably one of the most requested follow-up interviews that I get.
I bet.
And unfortunately, we got to wait for him to come
37
home.
Drive, keep it live.
Yeah, what can you say about G Active, man?
He's another one who Brim baby. His whole family, his uncles, like that's my big homie, his uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, was big homies with my big homie. They helped bring back their generation of Fruit Town Brim and started what is 37th Street Brim. So the Brinkleys, rest in peace, Miss Brinkley, she owned 2 houses on here before her death. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't gonna sell them all the money they offered her, $800,000. Man, I ain't giving it up. And she stayed there till her death. But yeah, man, G Active was a loyal homie. It's fucked up that they politicked on him and he got tricked off of the street. He was really with it, even in the county jail when you talking about gangster. That's what I can tell you about G Active. He really is that, in jail and on the street. What these dudes be proclaiming to be, you know what I'm saying? He went through a lot of tests. Remember, him, AOB Fingers, was kids when their best friend got killed on this block on Raymond in 2000, 13-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? Fingers barely got away with his life. A lot of people don't understand that Fingers went through that type of trauma at such a young age. You know what I'm saying? Time Bomb was Charlie. He named his son after Time Bomb. Time Bomb was 12 years old when he was killed. The dude was probably about 30-something, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So it was a real sad occasion, man. But G Active went through that. He went through a lot of tests or whatever. And he was always facing whatever obstacle it was and being who he was. His name rang bells in that county jail, knocking niggas out, beating niggas up, and standing on what he believed and how he pushed his line. I respect it. I think a lot of his enemies do too. So that's probably why you get a lot of things. He's a real respectful dude at this point. He ain't the same dude. He should be coming home. Free G Active, that's the homie Drive Boys. You know what it is, man. It's always love, family.
Now, I did another popular interview with a youngster named Pee Wee, who's, I guess he's locked up now too.
Yeah, Weestro locked up. He's still in the county jail, I believe. I ain't talked to him probably like 8 months. But Pee Wee was a leader. He was a rebel. Like the structure that was over here, remember, he was an import. He is the eyeball. He wasn't born or never even lived in the 30s. You understand what I'm saying? His mom is a lawyer or DA or something. He living in Inglewood, but he came over here at such a young age, 9 years old. He seen the love from the beginning, and he fell in love with that. And he dedicated his life to that, pushing the line the way he seen fit, going against the rules. There's been a lot of situations with Weestro. Weestro with the shit though. One of the craziest dudes I ever met in my life. But as being a rebel against the system, a lot of youngsters fall at. Look at heavy metal. It was huge in rock and roll because these kids were rebelling against the norms of their parents. You could tap into the pulse of pop culture with those teams. It's really powerful, and it's kind of similar in both ways.
Now, one of my most controversial interviews that I've ever posted, and it took me several months to eventually put it out because I wasn't going to put it out actually, was the one I did with Big Stretch, where he really went deep into the prison politics.
Right.
And you know, he represents this soil over here pretty hard too. What was your whole take on that?
Big Stretch, his squad. So however he push, I push with him. I love him. That's his experience. I never went through that with the prison politics. I'm not involved in none of that, but I've always been a frontliner in the system. I got long histories of riots and stabbings and all kind of shit that I didn't really did for this. But my experience with them, they was riding. Maybe his was different. So whatever he said, I stand on that.
Okay, and we're on a cul-de-sac right now of 37th Drive, and we got one of the most prestigious university on God's green earth. Right across the street, man.
Imagine struggling, eating beans and hot dogs every day. 6 houses from here. 6 houses from here, where I grew up, and hopping the gates and being able to see people who have plenty. It was total contrast. As a kid, you understand it, that they put you in a place. And it starts off racial initially, but then it goes to classism. And that's essentially what it really is. But we used to be in there stealing the maintenance carts, old gray head, the head USC patrol going to my grandma's house and all that. You know, going to the underground arcades. Like, this is my community. Going to the Rose Garden, the museum, exposition pool. Like, yeah, man, it was a different world from those that's living right in these cottages. Those dorms right there weren't there at first. It was dorms more in. That was a parking lot and a basketball court. We go right there and go play basketball since I was young. Hop the gate. Oh, we going right here, or then we'll go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Stealing USC student bags with You know what I'm saying? We were some bad little kids, man, you know?
Now, when I went to this school in the 90s, that dorm you just pointed to, I don't know if you know the name of that dorm, but it's called Parkside. But the students, the white students had a nickname for it.
What they called it?
They called it Dark Side because that's the side where the black residents live.
Right.
So, and no one wanted to live in dark side apartments.
Right.
So
that was like the ghetto part of
it was not only was it the ghetto part because it's on the Vermont side of campus, but the original Parkside apartments were old and they were rat infested. That's why they tore it down and they got this new one finally. But I noticed the racial divide while I was a student there, and I'm like, yo, y'all calling that dark side? Like I'm from over there.
Right.
Y'all don't realize you talking to someone that grew up on that side of Vermont. So I found that interesting that the white students, they knew that this was the black population over here.
Is that TJ?
And they nicknamed
Yeah, that's lover boy TJ. Shout out to homie. OHB, C Breezy, what up? It's one of the artists I also co-manage.
Okay.
From New York, out of Chris Brown crew.
But also.
There you go.
All right. I don't want to lose the momentum of this interview though. We got some good shit because do you know about the houses that used to be on the other side of Vermont that USC bought and all tore down? It was all community, even into the other side of Vermont, going to McClintock. Right.
Where, right before the village had started, before they tore down the USC village.
I mean, they tore down hundreds of houses in the 60s and 70s.
Right.
So Fruit Town might have been a bigger community if it wasn't for USC.
It definitely would have been because we frequented that, even got into it with oppositions going up there. I used to patrol. That's where I get my red flag from. At that time, every morning I'm going to Newberry's to steal me a red flag. That's the red flag that I'm going to be using that day.
Okay, so I wanna talk about the whole Keyshawn Johnson incident that happened in the projects. Before we head over there, briefly tell me about the projects right there on the corner of Vermont and Expo.
That's the University Gardens growing up.
I'm sorry, Vermont and Jefferson.
Jefferson and Catalina to 35th and Catalina to a cul-de-sac that's just like this. The Key born and raised on 37 Place. He lived with the Miller family. That's why him and Chris Miller are said to be cousins. He wasn't a hardcore gangbanger, but he done fought and jumped on some dudes. So when I see Key where he at today, it's like splendid. But at this specific time, he was in the hood, and the USC Gardens signing autographs to the kids in the project. This was lower income at that time, right? My Big Nino and them paid $1 per month rent. You know what I'm saying? So he over there, he's signing autographs. LAPD come out, crash unit come out, and they like, hey, look, you got all these gangbangers also out here, this and that. You got your Range Rover with the doors open and the loud music. You're trespassing. He said, how am I trespassing? And this is my community. If I don't come back, I'm a sellout. If I show these kids that they ain't gotta sell drugs, that you ain't gotta gangbang, that you can change your family's life and the quality of life of your family, y'all gotta take me to jail. And he stood on that. So that really gives you a indication and very indicative of who Keyshawn Johnson really was, man.
All right. So let's go head over to that side real quick.
All right.
All right.
We in the University Gardens, man, the projects, UVG, University Gardens, man.
And are we still in the same community?
Yeah, this is still the Fruit Town Brim community. This 35th Street is exactly where we at. This was every day, especially for me. This is where I made my most money ever before this music shit and everything was hustling out these projects.
Okay, so even though you stayed a few blocks south of here, you would come over here and hang out.
Right.
And I'm sure there was probably 1 million kids running around here at that time.
Million kids, but I used to come over here before I was even gangbanging. Like they got the basketball court here, so Nino, Baby Bug, Dion, that we all used to come up here and play basketball, whatever. So that's before the gang shit, right?
Oh, so right over here you used to ball.
So once I started banging, I'm like, shit, I hang over here. The kids out here, the girls out here, the projects had, oh my God, the projects. Shout out all the UVG girls. You know what I'm saying? The ones I took down and the ones that we gonna act like I didn't take down. You know what I'm saying?
this is where you learn how to play the game right here?
Yeah, well, you know, we went to all of the courses, like I said, at USC, the underground, arcade, the gyms and all of that shit. We played there also, but this is where these dudes was doing it. Mike, shout out Grind Hard Clothing, man. Mike, he was a little kid, Ronnie's son, but he was out here. Niggas thought he was gonna go pro, but he got in a car accident or whatever. But my nigga D-Ray stay here. Nino grandfather still stay here. He was one of the first lowriders in LA. So when people ask y'all who started Lowrider, he said before they even had the pump, where they just had the brakes set up to where they just do this to jerky. So when SA say, I don't want to get into that racial topic, but there's an argument to be made from, I think he's 74, right? Used to own a gas station right here on Adams in Vermont. So he's been invested in his community and he was a mechanic. That's what he did. So, you know, it holds a lot of credits, man, but you know, when somebody goes out too far to try to prove a point, like specifically on that issue about the low riding, you want to question what's their intentions. Why does it even come down to who started it? We all enjoy the culture, right? And there's dispute. So don't say people ignorant, people dumb. There's old people in Los Angeles who claim to start low riding prior to any essays, and these is black people.
Well, you know, OG Bird from the Slossons told me the first people he ever saw low riding back in the 1950s were white boys. I was like, whoa, I ain't heard that, but he's older than everybody. He's 80 years old, still living.
Where that was at?
Over by Florence, Huntington Park, over in that area.
The police would beat you up, they catch you over there in them times at nighttime.
Yeah.
What you doing over here, nigga type shit back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's who was in that community. But all right, what else you want to go to? I want the Keyshawn shit, huh?
Yeah, let's go. I did an interview in here with Lady Scrap.
That's my home girl, Lady Scrap. Taurus gang, man. Taurus gang, we both Tauruses.
Tall ass model type girl too.
Man, I told her she was supposed to model. She be rapping though. She got a couple raps and shit. She was on Yard Down Music Volume 1 with the Hit Yo Brimmin was on. She was on that.
I'm surprised that these buildings aren't torn down. That USC or some private developers haven't scooped this up, because this is multi-million-dollar property right here.
All of these used to be bushes and stuff on the side of where you're looking at. And it got so bad in the projects where the police had them cutting all the bushes because niggas is stashing shit all over this motherfucker. But where we just crossed right there, that was D-Ray the gangster, rest in peace. That's his auntie house. He lived there, 1224 right there. Yolanda lived there. Her son got killed out in front of the project. Jamar, J-Bone, he wasn't even a gangbanger. Some Harlems allegedly did that. The homies be over here. Messy Marv used to live here from Fruit Town Brims.
I just got a glimpse of the old Sunshine Market while we was walking through.
Yeah. Oh, that's good footage. Sweetie lived here, which was Yolanda's best friend. Yolanda's Big Nino mama. Big Nino lived right here in 95. So, right up under here, Big Champ used to live right here. So we shoot dice here all day, every day. Hustling, posted up. It was really cracking, bro. Like, on a bad day, motherfucker gonna get rid of a zip or 2 zips. You know what I'm saying? Rock for rock. We ain't talking about no weight, no 7, nothing. But it was a lot of activities too. You know what I'm saying? The Harlems, I wonder if it's still in the gate. They came with many. They probably fixed it after all of these years. Yeah, they definitely fixed it. Through this gate where he first started with the Mac 90, was coming through this gate.
Who was that?
And they came in some opposition. This is in the 90s. Came up in here chasing niggas. And then another nigga came from the back, ambushed them. Nobody got hit, thank God. But it was that type of situation. This was a citywide known Fruit Town Brim hangout. You know what I'm
I
saying?
noticed there's no doorknob on that door there.
Right.
You can't even open it.
Right. They want to keep you stuck up in here. But yeah, man, this is real memories. Majority, I mean, Nino's grandfather still staying here, the one I was telling about the Lowrider, but the majority of the people that live in here now aren't from this community, they're USC students. So when we get to talk about the gentrification over here, then you come over here on the other end of it and you see from all edges, that's really attacking this community.
They got students living in the university gardens?
Yes.
When did that start?
Probably about, they already had some, even back then, some USC students. I used to sell weed to one that lived up in here. He was a USC student even when it was low income. He just was trying to make it. You know what I'm saying?
So where did the incident with Keyshawn Johnson happen?
Right here, bro.
Okay.
So Key was standing right here. His Range Rover was right here. And the police is all right here. You got kids, Japanese kids, black kids, Mexican kids, all around here in line trying to get autographs. This is a dude that grew up a couple of blocks away from where you grew up, the poverty you grew up, and now he just got $22 million and he here showing you that you don't gotta gangbang, you don't gotta do this. And y'all talk about that, oh, you gonna have to leave, you're trespassing. How am I trespassing? My community want me here, right? And I'll be a sellout if I don't. So he took his position. I go over there by like where that key at, and I'm talking to the homies. And crash unit was right here, Officer Livingston. He like, Slim, come here. Police always thought my name was Slim from Brim. I never gave him or told him I was a gang member. So they, oh, that's Slim from Brim. Yeah, I'm Slim. But anyway, he like, Slim, come here. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm on youth authority parole, right? They go try to get me for hanging with some gang members. Like, I go over there, what's up? Put your hand behind your back. So they cuff me up first, right? Key already then calling his lawyer. Y'all motherfuckers just mad because my car worse than your yearly allowance. He, you know, Keyshawn Johnson is a fat mouth, bro. He grew up in the Fruit Town. Nigga, that's what they do. So that nigga like, nigga, them niggas mad because, nigga, that's your yearly allowance. Nigga, I'm like, damn. Make a nigga feel this small. So they really was, he like, well, get your watch commander. Watch commander came. And he was like, listen, you're gonna leave or we're arresting you. He like, well, y'all gotta arrest me. I'm already in the police car now. They done cuff me up. Oh, you got a warrant. I ain't had no motherfucking warrant. So they put Key in the car with me. So we get to the, as soon as we get to Southwest, we pull up on the Dinker side and into the back. We get out there, dude come out the door, you Keyshawn? Yeah, you already post bail, right? So he goes in, he goes right out.
Yeah.
I'm there left with the, you're the one that came with Keyshawn, he's a fucking too big gangster, he from Fruit Town, tell him, nigga, I ain't your messenger, boy, nigga, fuck you mean? Yeah, let me catch him over there. Like, this is how the police was, his attitude to a black man coming back to his community, shedding light on positivity. That's some fucked up shit. They don't want that.
So did you get bailed out eventually? Oh no, you couldn't because you had a hold?
I didn't have no hold. I see my PO the day before. Like, I didn't have no motherfucking hold. What up with it? I didn't have no hold. I got bailed out. I see my PO the day before. So it wasn't no bail. They got me over there until I get the watch commander. Don't even have nothing on my door. They let me go and shit. I come back, Keyshawn already gone. You know, I'm trying to get up in Key ear. Like, hey, Key, what up? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the music. I know you. So I didn't see Key again until the last time I seen him was right there at the Sunshine Market, what used to be Sunshine Market, and when Sam owned it, right? So he was going, but me and Red Flag got on the red sweatsuits dressed alike. I got the thing, and a Range Rover passed by. He in the rearview mirror looking, flying up Jefferson. So I'm like, who is that nigga looking in the rearview like that? You know him, Flag? He like, nah. So I'm like, that nigga putting his turner, he come back, I'ma give it to him, right? Like, it was really that serious. You nigga don't know who, they know who's down here on Jefferson, CK Jefferson, what they called this. You know what I'm saying? From here to Normandy, Walton, the 20s on Kenwood, Raymond. So you go down there, it's liable to get some activity. So they, you know it's them when they flying. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get the fuck up off Jefferson before niggas, you know, do something. Keyshawn busted you, but what happened, he pulled right here into the Catalina and enter right there by the laundromat. And we already over there with the burner, right? We already over there with the burner. So I'm like, ain't no enemy finna come up in there and where we got them blocked off. And then when I look again, the nigga got a tie on and a suit. And it was Key. He like, damn, my nigga, why you out here like that? I'm like, my nigga, everybody didn't make it playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing the music shit though, man. Your brother banging my shit, his brother Money Mike. That's also Michael Thomas from the Saints son. You know what I'm saying?
The best wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Arguably, he been injured, so we don't know how he gonna come back.
Yeah, he had one season, but discounting the season he was injured, his previous 4 or 5 seasons.
No, he definitely was at the top of the food chain at that time.
Yeah.
But I'm quite sure that Tyreek Hill and some of these other dudes will have a different argument. But anyway, so he like, damn man, you doing the music? He said, we going to things. Sam like Keyshawn. Keyshawn walk up in Sunshine. Sam like Keyshawn. I go to the little lot. He go to the little lotto thing, write down his number. Like call me if I'm in New Jersey, if I'm in Tampa, whatever. That's my straight line. Holla at me, we gonna get it. I did a label with Diddy and Jermaine Dupri. I got these 2 groups, but somebody fucked the money off, and I ain't gonna, throw niggas up under the bus or whatever. But holla at me, I'ma fuck with you. And I ended up losing his number. I ain't seen Keyshawn since, bro.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm sure if he sees this, if he's watching this, maybe he tap in with you. You're not hard to find. You go on Clubhouse, you always got a room going.
Right. I'm on Clubhouse. Key, come on, we gonna do some questions about the Lakers and all that. Come up on Clubhouse, man.
Now, talking about Clubhouse, I remember about a year and a half ago when I first jumped on Clubhouse, I used to hear you and Wack100 from Pacoima on there doing all right, but then you guys started going at it, man. Take me through that whole situation where you 2 guys were cool, but then that shit went left real quick.
Well, it's on YouTube. I got on Clubhouse specifically some New York Bloods, Corey King and a dude named War, right? Who was claiming he was a New York Brim or whatever at the time. They like, hey, he interviewed 6ix9ine. The East Coast Bloods looking at that as total disrespect and a slap in the face. Like, how you gonna justify snitching and claiming he harboring? So I'm like, all right, I'm with the unification. We can send a message so the kids know that we don't believe that's what's best in our community. That's just not how we ride. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got on Clubhouse for. The situation ended up coming about, Big U, meet up with Jim Jones. I'm in the room, Wack100 is in the room, and they talking to him. So I say, well, Wack, you talking about Big U is good because he said he ain't seen no paperwork, so he's still interviewing and going to check in with Jim Jones in New York. Said, but that's not your position. You know what I'm saying? I said, in your situation, nigga, you talking about them and what this nigga Jim Jones doing, but nigga, you knew this nigga was already testified on niggas and all of that, and you cool with that, right? So that's business, and he, I said, listen, man, you just playing semantics. You know what I'm saying? You could put lipstick on a pig, you kissing the pig, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And if that's what you want, that's your business. It's indicative of your character, you know what I'm saying, or lack thereof, but I'm not pushing no line. I just did all this jail time. I don't need no funk with nobody. I don't want no issues. I'm a public figure. I come outside. You know what I'm saying? I really come outside. This is what raised me. These streets is what raised me. My father was in prison, gangbanger, drug addict at the time. So, I'm really from this community, but so that was the first thing, and he was like, you're a wolf. It's on YouTube, E-Band Films. Even I don't like E-Bands, but and he kept coming back to me because I got up under his skin. Like he didn't have no defense for it. So he got at me and was like, the niggas you dealt with is you think they gangsters, them niggas was broke individuals. Nigga, I'm robbing banks with them niggas. How the fuck you gonna tell me they some broke niggas? We might not be in your tax bracket, you know what I'm saying? But how you gonna speak up, and why would you even speak down to those people when some of them is dead? it showed me another side of his character, but he was like, man, I could show you how to push these buttons. He was trying to fuck with me on some business shit. Man, from a different level, you gotta give Lamonte a try. Duse Ms man, them niggas ain't gonna send you a rhyme. And I'm like, bro, I done been through all that. I'm on here, my name is Lamonte. I'm Duse Ms or I'm Eminem, CK Eminem from Brim. I represent myself like that at 44 years old. That's not conducive to what I believe being a father is. I got a 19-year-old son. So I hold myself to a higher standard than that. That's all I'll say. So I let them know I ain't got no beef with you, but I ain't trying to fuck with you on no business. I got my boy, shout out Yael, when he get into it with Roddy Ricch. He like, well, Lamonte, I could go get nephew, right? He's doing everything, coming in all of the rooms that I'm in at the time, and I'm keeping it copacetic. I don't want no problems, you know what I'm saying? But it was bound to happen. Niggas from Grape Street, New York and LA he talking about they business. I'm like, why is you talking about some keyway? Like, you gonna get a gang war started out here, my nigga, and you gonna be behind bulletproof glasses at your studio with bodyguards and a budget moving from different houses. These dudes could take that. Thank God that those dudes wasn't on the bullshit and trying to punish or get into it with his homies behind him, because a lot of his homies don't even fuck with him. So ultimately what happened, when that came to me, I'm like, look, bro, I got a contract signed with ODM Slim, who was Crip Mac manager at the time, right? Out the mud. So I got them scheduled for a fight through livestreamers.com with another dude. We was switching the fighters, and it was an NFT deal also signed, 2 NFT deals signed in agreement with that. So the little nigga who was supposed to fight is mad, M&S DJ, he goes show Wack100 the contract. They cut me out, they owe me $100,000 or whatever the fuck he was saying. But his deal wasn't with me. My deal was with ODM. I'm providing the livestreamers.com in 162 different countries, live pay-per-view fight, professional type shit. And he decides who Crip Mac was gonna fight, nigga, because that was his manager. So Wack100 seen the contract, and then I see that he on some bullshit because he go announce backdoor Blueface fighting Crip Mac. Go on YouTube, you'll see it, right? He trying to run, he see that my play and he went and tried, so I felt a certain kind of way. Like, this nigga stepping on my chucks. Oh yeah, look at the chucks. Things active, ain't they? You know what I'm saying? But so I called him out for the fade. He done ran a make on me, calling the 6 Duse Brims. Oh man, I got a lot of respect for Lamonte. I look at him on a whole nother light now. This and that, they speak highly of him. He didn't, I'm like, pass with flying colors. So this is his thing, but I'm still just laughing. Then you hear him like, Lamonte, you don't really fuck with me. Go listen to some of that shit. Because he knew I wasn't sucking his dick like these other niggas is Wack100 groupies. I'm gonna hold you accountable, and you should hold me accountable when I mess up. And I ain't above reproach, especially if I got any kind of respect for you. You know what I'm saying? But he hasn't have that type of evolution or growth mentally to even be at that level where he can accept constructive criticism so he could be the best him. But that's what happened. I called him out for the fade. He lied and said, well, I got the paperwork on Duse Ms, open up 100 ENT. That's on YouTube. I don't care. I laughed. Go listen to it. I laughed. Then I got to thinking like, this nigga really insinuated publicly that I'm a snitch, nigga. I done did too much jail time. I'm not standing for that one. I was charged for kidnapping. I went to trial and I beat that. So the allegations that were in what they call the factual background of the case or whatever still had, he's allegedly dragged her and threw her in the car, right? It wasn't a trunk, it was a car that they alleged. And obviously the juries didn't believe that. 12 jurors that the government put out there, and I was acquitted of that. What's up with it? Tell that nigga M said, what's up? That I was snitching, that's totally false. We didn't walk from one side to the other side of the Fruit Town Brim, unarmed, unharmed. You know what I'm saying? I'm in good standing with my people. I never had any allegations from any case. I went to YA for that. It was other people that hopped out that car with me. Nobody went to court. at the incident in Williams Elementary. Nobody else came to jail on that. I went for the bank robbery. The snitch is Denavius Hobson from City Stone, right? I got the paperwork on that. You'll see that in the March Madness documentary. Be looking for that, right? And we break that down. He testified he was an unindicted co-conspirator. He was only 17 at the time or whatever, so they had him in juvenile or whatever. But he was the snitch. Big Nino Brim, who lived right there, he didn't say nothing. He didn't even waive his Mirandas. He didn't even want to sign that he don't want to waive his Mirandas. Baby Bond from 20s, Tiny Jimbo from 20, we all kept it gangster. You'll see all of that in the March Madness for anybody who have concern. The other case, I did state time, 8 years I just did. I get the assault on the female. It was a prostitute broad. I was on some pimping shit, right? Literally. It happened on Long Beach Boulevard at King Taco. Lamonte Sims, go look at the appeal case, you'll be able to see their statement of facts or whatever. So she had put her hands on me, if you want the real story, and I did backhand her, and I shouldn't have. There's no justification. But you had two witnesses who we don't know who called the police and they had different renditions. One said that I hit her one time, but it wasn't a backhand, said that I hit her like I punched her. A lie, right? But it was only one time. I backhanded her and said, you can't make no money out here, grabbed her purse because her purse fell when she backing up from me, scared. That's when I slapped her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, come on, we can't make no money out here, we out of here. So we finna leave. They ended up charging me for kidnapping. She said she was never assaulted. If anything, they didn't even allow those statements in the trap.
Did the police just pull up on y'all or someone called?
No, Lily Bills and the other witness, Yvette Lopez, both called the police. Lily Bill was a patron at King Taco, going in and out 100 times, but she seen 4-5 hits and 3 stomps and then a kick, and she said all kind of shit that never happened. And I was convicted of assault with force likely to produce great bodily injury, not that it didn't, because she didn't even have no mark. Her eyes was red because she was crying. You know what I'm saying? That's why she took off on me.
So you got 8 years for a backslap?
For a backslap. But assault with a deadly weapon at the height with a viral video to Hit Yo Brimmin. You know the internet really crashed, especially Clubhouse with them trolls. So them dudes is, somebody behind the keyboard ain't got nothing to do. They're on that internet, they know how to search for information. My name is public, it's a public case. And they took that and then he spin with his narrative. He has, I think at last count, 30 YouTube channels that cater to his content. If you go on their page, it's nothing but Wack100 content, because as long as they keep his name in the algorithm, they're seeing money. So that's why you see a lot of dick sucking out there, because they might make a $40,000 check that month fucking with Wack. I know a dude that fuck with Wack that's making $10,000 every single month. You know, he had my phone number and all of that. I ended up, he did do me one business favor. It wasn't really for me, it was for an artist that I'm just starting to look out for and co-manage, Yael, who got the song with Wally the Sensei, Scandalous.
From Park Village?
Yeah, for Park Village, right? So he got a new song with Joe Moses and Wack100 artist, the Coyotes, called Section. So because I know Wack, I'm like, hey Wack, I want to introduce you to the homie for Park Village. He on that song, what you call it? He got a song with your artist, he trying to holler at you. And I'm trying to back off, and Wack like, what hood he from in Compton Crep, Park Village? He said, okay, you know your homie? We like, yeah. And he like, all right, just send Duse Ms the information. Send that to my wife. I'm gonna have my wife do the release, and now he could do the song and ain't gotta worry about them taking it down. So he did do that, and that was something he did with 100, but Wack100 always gonna have some strings attached to it. He don't do nothing out the kindness of his heart. He wants to try to build up loyalty with me, and I wasn't trying to have no strings attached to a foul nigga. Everything you do, the way you represent yourself is not how I conduct myself, and you older than me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I know from the community, man, that's from the struggle and of the struggle, is trying to utilize their platforms and whatever they got improvised to better their life and the quality of life for their families. You a 45-year-old nigga acting like a 16-year-old YA baby on public media in everybody's business, dry snitching on niggas. I can't be around this dude and then my niggas is ready to go. Anything, life, whatever, because I did it the way I was supposed to do it. But I don't want to see them in jail and away from their family, so I'm not trying to push no buttons or press no line on the nigga. But you gonna respect mine, and when I see him, I'ma knock his bitch ass out. Dead homies. I got a reputation around here for just that. Right here where we at, it used to be a railing right here. You know what I'm saying? Niggas socking niggas out, taking niggas to the back to the trash can in the projects. Nigga fucking niggas up, put YGD, the gangster, put him on right here, me and Fly. Like, nigga really was pushing that type of a line over here. So you got the right nigga, but I'm a different dude. I've evolved mentally. My priorities is something different. It has nothing to do with no gangbang shit. But as a man, when you put a false accusation like that, the only people I know that did all those disinformation campaigns was the FBI. So you walking and talking, quacking like a duck, the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover. So that's one of the reasons I never wanted to really fuck with him like that on some business shit. I think he fouled. I believed that before I got the paperwork I recently received with the Del Dog wiretap transcript where they talking about that after he got hemmed up, Wack100 get hemmed up, he admits to it. He admits to also not just being hemmed up by the LAPD doing the Biggie investigation that the movie's about, but he admits that he goes to the federal building on Wilshire. Because remember, it was multiple investigations about the Biggie Tupac homicide. It wasn't just one investigation. You had different authorities trying to claim jurisdiction over it because of the Vegas, and they seen that both of those was connected. So what was you talking about with the police there? He said he went to go get his personal property. That's why he went there, right? But you had to go all the way up to the stairs to go get that. They could, you could get that at the desk or whatever, right? Your attorney could go sign for that. He got power of attorney. But in any event, in that paperwork, I revealed it on activechucks.com. That's with 2 S's. I break down and uploaded the transcript a couple of days ago and exposed Wack100 was involved in that case. He was trying to tell Del Dog that Stutterbox went bad. Stutterbox, Del Dog don't even want Wack100 to have his number. They know that they probably being wiretapped, so they're talking in code or whatever. And he specifically at the end of the thing, Mafia Style, who was the one Wack called him 3 times. At the beginning of the transcript, you see that the FBI puts, what's his name, in his transcription of what then occurred in the transcript. He said, confidential source, CS2, back, B-A-C-K, in parentheses, AKA confidential source number 2, tries to call that Mafia Style telling Del Dog that confidential informant number 2 is trying to call him and he want his number. Before I give him your number, Del Dog, he said, I'm cool on that dude, man, right? He said that Stutterbox is all bad and that the phones is compromised. Del Dog was smart. So Del Dog is in his mind probably thinking, how do you know that my phone and our phones is compromised? How do you know that Stutterbox went bad? Unless you went through that. So he gave you up, now you trying to get my phone. Now I don't want that dude number. You know what I'm saying? And then the dude, KS Mafia, whatever they was calling him in the transcript, MS, right? Mafia Style. He like, well, I just wanted to know how to proceed forward, so I'm gonna tell him, listen, because ain't no telling what kind of lies they was telling. I ain't helped the Wack boy none. That's what it says in the transcripts. The feds either wanted to give his bitch ass up or they just slipped up because the context that he used, Wack boy. I ain't helped the Wack boy none. The conversation is about Wack trying to get Del Dog number after Stutterbox gave him up. He probably was working there trying to set Del Dog up, but he didn't get the opportunity because Del Dog, from his grave, you was a thinker, homie. Outsmarted that sucker.
Now, just so everybody knows, part of this is the way you're interpreting the paperwork. It's not solidly proven yet, right?
No, I believe that the evidence thereof is because Wack100 said, yeah, obviously he was trying to call Del Dog. If a nigga from your hood snitching on you and you caught up on the shack or whatever case it is and all this money's involved, obviously you're gonna try to get in contact with them and let them know what happened. Hey, yo, this just happened. So that's obvious. Wack made that known. But on the transcript, this is the FBI transcript that this nigga is calling him, telling him Wack want his number. And he says Wack boy I ain't helped the Wack boy nothing. He just called me, he repeats it at the beginning, and then at the end, at the last paragraph, he just called me 3 times. So you know that the Wack boy that called 3 times at the end was the CS2, confidential source 2, AKA back in the paperwork that they first talked about when he first called. They slipped up or they did it on purpose because it's to put his dumb ass out there. But the paperwork is official, it's not fake, and it's not left for interpretation. All you gotta do is read the context, hear the context of the conversation, who they talking about from the beginning, and how he come back around, because he talking in code to, yeah, I ain't helped the Wack boy none, no, I just wanted to know how to handle, because like I said, he called 3 times. So Wack said, oh, don't say my name. No, nigga, he said Wack boy. And they just forgot to edit the shit out.
All right, so lastly, I want to talk about this hit viral video that you had.
Hit Yo Brimmin.
Let me guess, don't tell me. I'm gonna say somewhere around 2008, 9?
Nah, we dropped that 2012.
12? Okay.
But the 2012 version wasn't a video, it was just me and Fingers. Because the original song was me and Fingers. And that song was on YouTube, but we shot the video after that with the remix rendition with G-Nut, everybody else for the video.
That had Tiny Wrench, that had
Tiny
Fingers.
Wrench, Fingers, Gladiator Nino, Lil Nino, Big Nino, my crime me on my bank robbery. It was some, it was a legendary classic hit, man. They gonna be talking about that one for the next 20 years, you know what I'm saying?
So the video dropped, what, 2012 or 13?
January 26, 2013 on YouTube.
Okay, and now you said that you had caught this case with the, when you was—
January 3rd.
Pimping case.
January 3rd, yeah, even though I didn't get pimping allegations. It wasn't a pimping and pandering
case, but you was pimping at the time.
Right, and they mentioned it in the transcript that it was suspicion of it.
Were you, back to that, were you concerned they were gonna charge you with the pimping and pandering?
Yes, because it was in the transcripts that they said, they're insinuating that they're thinking about bringing those trips. She been caught on Lancashire, Miami. That pussy have been on a, you know what I'm saying, a world tour, you know what I'm saying?
You kind of lucked out that they didn't press the line on the pimping part, huh?
Man, blessed, man.
Yeah, okay, you know? so when you get caught with this case, this video just drops, right?
I'm in the LA County jail and G-Nut tell me, did you see the video? I'm like, no. I said, did you register it? Right? ISRC, UPC encoded, digital fingerprint, so it could bring all the money. We want other people to put it up because it's gonna bring the money back to the thing. Yeah, you copyright. So now I'm thinking my royalty checks is finna be good. What? G-Nut he wasn't registered with ASCAP, BMI, or CSAP. He had a LLC for Yard Down Music Inc., but he wasn't, so to collect any performance royalties, it had to be in paperwork to my publishing company, Thug Torious G's. Active Chucks is my entertainment company. My publishing company that collects royalties is Thug Torious G's. He's supposed to register that song, the video, everything through my shit. He didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? He's happy for the fame. He was on. You know what I'm saying? We getting booked for shows. We was getting booked for shows before that for about 2 years prior. You know what I'm saying? Shout out DJ J Bling. He was instrumental in a lot of different people. Lancaster, Apple Valley, all of Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? We was doing shows with Joe, opening up. We was doing shows with Ty Dolla $ign. You know what I'm saying? So, and High Power Entertainment, we was really grinding on that. Me and G-Nut ended up becoming business partners, so to speak. I would handle more so the business aspect. As he works, he don't got it, he'll come with finances. He had his studio, and I would manage Fingers specifically. I was managing Fingers at the time we did that song.
Were you able to still do any of this stuff while you were incarcerated, while you were in the county jail?
Yeah, not in the county jail. I was on a bus going to court one day, and the nigga from Avalon was like, hey, homie, your homies got this song out there right now. That's my ringtone. A nigga from Fire Trey Avalon, big old buff nigga. I'm like, what? He like, man, I fucks with that. The homies was tripping, like, damn, I get it, it's hard, but my nigga, that's your ringtone? He like, nigga, it's just a dope song. I was like, damn, I'm like, bro, that's my song. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the county jail bus, and he was like, what you mean? You love that song? I'm like, no, like, I made that song, bro.
People wasn't believing you, huh?
Nah, the homies from 20s and them was already calling, and they, the black, it was popping like the Brim shit hard. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody on the Hit Yo Brimmin remix. But originally, me and Fingers had did the song. Like I said, we released that in 2012. The video is what blew up. Visuals is everything.
Now your video was sort of like a spin-off of a couple other videos that was Hit Yo Ricky. What was the original?
The first one was Hit Yo Ricky, right?
And then the 60s came out with
Hit Yo Rollin'.
Yeah.
And I'm doing shows with Ty Dolla $ign at the time, Joe Moses. I'm like, nigga, these niggas is on. I gotta come with a motherfucking hit, right? We trying to do songs that's more cater ratchet music, and the movement was going on at the time. So we mixing that in with the party function music. Not just gangster music where it's just slow and a hard beat. No, we want function music that if you go to the function, you in your car, shit is turned up and it's still gangster though. So we started fucking with Track D beats, and we got DT make hits. But so I come pull up in the hood, the young homie on the block, he like, rest in peace, Lil G Active. You know what I'm saying? He got killed. But he like, big homie, you need to do the Hit Yo Brimmin. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, fuck some gangbanging. I've been gangbanging all my life. That shit ain't gonna get us nowhere, bro. I'm trying to make a hit. He like, bro, them niggas, you gotta see their video. So I'm at the studio, and they played the video and shit. They throwing up fuck V&G. That's Brims.
You talking about the 60s?
Yeah,
or
the
was
60s.
It didn't the Grape Streets do one?
Yeah, the Grape Streets is the Hit Yo Ricky.
Okay.
But they weren't disrespecting us. We was on really just the 60s disrespect towards the Brims, the families, like this blood.
Now you specifically talking about Newport, Conrad, and Pac-Man.
Right, and they all ended up having good careers with fucking with Nipsey Hussle on his mixtapes and shit. So they had a better backing when you get to talking about but with the music, they couldn't fuck with us. We definitely won. They released their video a couple months before us. We passed their numbers up and then some, almost like 600,000 more after. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about competitive on hip hop level, like who won that beef, and keep it 100, Conrad from the ass hard as fuck. Right now, he's still popping. You know what I'm saying? He dope, he really got lyrics and all of that, but AOB Fingers, G-Nut, Gladiator, Nino, them niggas was in their prime, they was in their peak, and they really walked the streets hard more than that. Newport ain't really, you know what I'm saying? He just turned down a little stretch fade. So Newport ain't like, you know what I'm saying? He from over there, but he wasn't a gangbanger. You not gonna take fades and do all that, you gonna be disrespectful. He the one that was disrespected. I'm the only nigga on Hit Yo Brimmin that disrespected. Go peep that, the only one. One thing for Dog, I don't sugarcoat shit. Yeah. He ducked that fade from Lil Stretch. I got the pay-per-view shit. He tried to put it off to another nigga from 60.
That's one thing.
If somebody took his gangster away, he took that away by his reaction. If a non-response, a penitentiary term, a non-response, that's how niggas gonna perceive you. That was his action. I'm just calling the ball and the strike a strike. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that.
Fair enough. Now after you guys dropped the Hit Yo Brimmin, did any other sets follow up? Because that was a hot
Denvers,
song.
the Denver Lanes did, the Power Rules, Hit Yo Rooster, but none of them did better than Hit Yo Brimmin.
So it's basically the 60s and the Fruit Towns that really blew up off of that song.
And no, the Grape Streets was big. That was on 106 in Park. The first one was on 106 in Park.
Yeah.
So shout out RJ on the beat. That's who did that beat. He fucks with Joe Moses and ALB for a long time.
What does Hit Yo Ricky actually mean?
They was going at it with the bounty hunters. They was on the Hit Yo Rally. And they did it to the Rack City beat, though. It wasn't to that same kind of beat that we did our shit to. So their response was, I never hit my Rally. Bitch, I hit my Ricky. So we on some, bitch, I hit my Brimmin. You know what I'm saying? So, we Brim walk, blood walk. That's where a lot of that come from. So it was just perfect. Perfect blend of music, style, artists, and it went viral. Kanye West posted it. I got that link, right, on his website, Yeezy's people. It was on MTV Testazani in Italy. So that record 300 and something different digital service providers.
Now, you guys shot some of that on the cul-de-sac. Was that 37th Drive?
My verse, obviously, I went on the drive.
Yeah.
Nigga, Drive Boys, for real. That's my heart. But we also went, we was over here in the projects by the basketball court. We was also over here on Jefferson and Walton, between Budlong, where Will shops and stuff was at. We was over there, right before they tore that down with the gentrification. We went to the Five Folk liquor store on Van Ness for the Fruit Harvard. We went to the Slauson Swap Meet and Harvard Park for the Six Deuce. So Fruit Harvard Nest. Shit was dope. Biggest hit of my motherfucking career, a gangbang song. Why none of those harder, better songs was, you know?
Okay, so at some point, I believe I saw this video at over 1 million views at some point.
Yes.
But then it got taken down.
Right.
And it was taken down by your actions.
Fact.
Why didn't you leave the video up for it to accumulate more views? It could have probably hit 3 million, 4 million. Who knows where it would have been at this point? What was the purpose for all of that?
I wasn't being compensated. All digital service providers, they get a license to do your music, but they have to compensate you. They have to require content management information is correct, so the right people, anybody who got to do with this song or this video are being credited for their work. In my case, it wasn't registered. It was none of the business shit was right. So I registered it with the Copyright Office myself from prison. Once I got the certificate of registration, the ownership, I still got the original. I registered me and Fingers. I don't have to register the remix rendition because I'm already in control of the song once we already had first made it. So I wasn't being compensated after contacting YouTube. I sent them 3 links. One of them was like 1.7 million. The other one was like 400,000. Another one like 90,000. So I sent them a DMCA takedown notice from a cell phone. I got in a pen, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my business. Niggas chasing after they female. I'm getting on the cell phone, taking care and conducting my business. So I sent them a DMCA takedown notice with 3 URL links that's on YouTube. They took down 2 of them, but left the one on Yard Down Music site up.
And that's your people, though.
Right, G-Nut.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
But you were trying to take it down from...
Me and G-Nut ain't seeing eye to eye on the business. Okay. You were supposed to do A, B, and C as part of the contingencies of our agreement or partnership for the song that I made that I allowed you to remix. It should have been Active Chuck's Yard Down, Hit Yo Brimmin. You made it like it was your record label, which is cool as long as I would have been compensated. But once I wasn't being compensated, he ain't tripping. G-Nut on. He got the union shit, he get you on with the child. He teach the class, he got his actual shit. So he doesn't care about making money off of the music. The first time he ever made money off of music was Club Cheetah show. That was my first show when I got out the Fed. From then on, he wanted to fuck with me. So he was more so about the reputation and trying to get something started, but not all the way in as an executive and artist, because he dope as fuck as an artist, to where now, I'm not finna suffer because you didn't do it or you're not concerned about that. I'm finna register my shit how it's supposed to be. I sent takedown notices to Amazon.com, who arguing copyright infringement for Bang That Volume 3 compilation with YG and Nipsey Hussle on there that fucked Donald Trump, The Gang, My Flag. And in any event, the Hit Yo Brimmin was on there as well, a couple other songs for artists that I manage. So I had them take it down, YouTube take it down. YouTube didn't take it down, the last link into my lawyer once I got out, because I filed the lawsuit myself. I filed a copyright infringement in a federal district court against Amazon, SoundCloud, YouTube, and 50-something other defendants for the illegal distribution of the Hit Yo Brimmin song or whatever. That's still pending right now against these defendants. Except YouTube, me and YouTube settled out. They basically conceded our argument of actual damages and ended up paying when they didn't want to pay from the beginning. So that's a win. That's $1 million company for a nigga born and raised over here in the 30s, and this dog want to shit while we summing it up, to file a copyright infringement against $1 billion company and win. You know what I'm saying? Was something that he was happy with. I'm really proud of myself as an executive and really as a black man. You know what I'm saying? To fight against the system. They gonna make us fight for every inch that we got coming.
What was it like to be locked up in jail while your #1 hit is going viral?
It was the worst, man. Because I see Ty Dolla $ign get his deal with Atlantic, right? Joe Moses ended up getting his deal with Atlantic later on, and then Empire. YG blew up. These is dudes that I was opening up shows for and booking to headline shows that I put together. You know what I'm saying? And to see them get millions and touring the world with some of the biggest artists in the world, I understood that, damn, you could be so close, so far. 1 foot in the streets, still pimping on the broad, right? Oil and water don't mix, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I say, man. It really hurt me, but it was also inspirational. I knew that I needed to get in control of my intellectual property. I knew that I was gonna have to fight, but I've been a warrior, so I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Black revolutionary, independent, militant soldier. That's what I was born for.
And where could people find you on? Which clubhouse rooms could people find you at on Clubhouse?
I'm just in the real Damu room now. I disassociated myself with the UOD. I've been busy with a lot of other stuff, and the direction that they want to take the business wasn't congruent with the direction and what I see with the UOD. So y'all can have it, no hard feelings. I'm saying we did something great. We were the resistance to all the fuck shit Wack100 was pushing. When you talking about the snitching and you know, on there promoting to these kids like homosexuality is what we need the most in our community when our people getting killed and we killing our people regularly, the police killing our people, other races killing our people, but we don't need to be procreating. That's what God said in the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
So unity over destruction. So you severed your ties there, huh?
Yeah, severed my ties with. I still fuck with some of those dudes. Shout out Messy Marv. He'll be at the backpacking. Salute to all of the brothers and the sisters that part of the UOD. That was something that was beautiful. But when I see it was a different direction, I'm not gonna associate my name or my brand with something or representation thereof. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back up. Y'all good? Y'all like it? I love it. You know what I'm saying? I'm Duse Ms. I'm Lamonte.